It may not feel like it, but it's been a long time since January 6th. It's been 1,358 days. And related to that, we are now just 103 days until the next January 6th, in which the results of this election will produce a needed certification of the vote. And I'm hoping it goes smoother this time, but maybe it won't, because Speaker Mike Johnson is being oddly cagey about the whole thing and using sort of like coded language that sounds much more like the way Donald Trump speaks about elections than you'd want a responsible politician to.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
Take a look.
Do you commit to observing regular order in the certification process of the 2024 election, even if Kamala Harris beats Donald Trump?
Well, of course, if we have a free, fair, and safe election, we're going to follow the Constitution. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, and so that's the sort of weaselly, stupid modern politics stuff that you say so that a right winger, and maybe there's one in the chat, will be like, no, that's reasonable. He said that he would if it's fair, because elections are stolen all the time. So you layer in a whole bunch of absolutely farcical, ridiculous claims about past elections to justify not certifying. That's all that is. That's saying, yeah, we'll do the Constitution if it's fair. According to who? People who have proven themselves constitutionally incapable of being honest about the results of elections. That's who. If Donald Trump says it's fair, then I guess it's fair. Donald Trump, who has never copped to actually losing an election. He seemed to a couple of weeks ago, and now he's trying to backtrack on that. When he was beaten by Ted Cruz in the Iowa caucus, he implies that even that was stolen. It's all stolen unless he wins. It's all unfair. So that's what he means by that right there. And obviously, I don't like this, but I'm not the only one. Democratic Representative Joe Morrell told Axios that Democratic leaders are, quote, clearly paying attention to the election certification process. When he, that being Johnson, says things like he did today, it causes great concern. Democrats are getting very anxious about it. And apparently, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has been conferring with deputies to prepare for the joint session that would contain that certification. Others like Jim McGovern say, I think when Donald Trump tells him to jump, he responds by asking how high, showing that they see Johnson as just echoing the Donald Trump message on this. And so I'm worried. I think that a lot of people should be worried. We know there's going to be challenges. There's no amount of votes he can lose by where he's just like, I gave it my best shot and we came up short. We'll get him in 4 years. You know, that's democracy. You win some, you lose some. It's not going to happen. And so everybody needs to be prepared for that fight between now and election, and then take a moment and then fight until the inauguration. That's my advice. What do you think, Sharon?
I think you're right. And this, Mike Johnson, I don't understand, okay? We know what's going on. I'm here in Georgia. We have an elections board that is doing all kinds of kinky things. It's just kinky things. Closing the door, not allowing people to observe, not following the rules, not putting out an agenda ahead of time so people can give their 2 cents. And it's going to be chaos, which is what's intended here. And Mike Johnson knows that he dare not, tiptoe onto anything that dear leader Donald Trump doesn't like. But it's like, here we go again. You're actually putting out a dog whistle to the same kinds of people who stormed the Capitol. This time they'll be just as disruptive. It's clear. And they'll do it in different states at different times. It'll be, ironically, a coordinated, chaotic nonsense and perhaps violence. And I think it's very dangerous. I think he's a very, very dangerous man that we don't necessarily approach the heart of his danger. I think he's one of the most dangerous people that we need to look out for.
Yeah, because he has that cloak of like well, no, I'm probably kind of reasonable or whatever, and like, he knows who he has to support to keep his position, and he might not keep his position regardless. The Marjorie Greenes of the world are coming for him, and even if not that, they could well lose. They could lose the House come November if it's fair, I guess. And so I definitely think that people should be worried about this. And there's all these more recent claims of fraud in Pennsylvania and voting and all that. We'll do a roundup another time, but just understand that they are every day. We only check in every once in a while, but they're out there every day laying the groundwork for people to not accept the results of this election. That's their main strategy at this point. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?